Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Money Garden. So today's Monday, happy Monday, and I wanted to cover with you guys a little bit about college saving plans. So essentially today we're going to talk about the college saving plan, that also known as 529 plan, and the top 3 pros and cons to a 529 plan. This is, again, there is a lot more research, or there's a lot more information out there, that there's so much more detail to it, but these are just the top 3 things that might help you to figure out whether this may or may not be the right plan for you to start saving for your children's education. So again, it's called the 529 college plan, and pros and cons, the top 3 pros and cons. So number 1, well, obviously it's tax deferred, so you can definitely start saving without paying taxes for it. It works very similarly like a 401k or an IRA or any other, or a retirement account, where you can take money out of your income, and if you put it in a college plan, you're not going to have to pay taxes on it. So it's tax deferred. The con is really that you cannot use it for anything else. This particular fund and the growth as well, it can only be used for education. So if your child, if they decide that they don't want to go to college, you're gonna be heavily, and this is gonna be the second and the third con, but you're definitely gonna pay penalty, 10% penalty and taxes on it if you want to take money out of this fund to use it for anything else other than education. So this fund is specifically designed for education, and it has to be used for higher education. Number 2 is, the good news is it's a pro, definitely. There's no limit on contribution, just like any other investment, well, not investment funds, but really retirement accounts. There's always some limit. The Roth IRAs will have a limit how much you can contribute. A 401k will have a limit. An IRA will have a limit that you can contribute. The college plans do not have a limit on contribution, so that is definitely a pro. The con is, again, as I mentioned it before, here the withdrawal, when you do a withdrawal, if you withdraw it for anything else, like I said, other than education purposes, you will be heavily taxed on it, both state and federal taxes. So just keep that in mind. Again, if later down the line, if your child decides they don't want to go to college, then you are going to have to pay about 10% penalties and heavily taxed by both federal and state taxes on this type of account if you wanted to withdraw and use the money for anything else. And number 3, the good news is, it's a pro, definitely, that it is transferable. However, if you start a college saving plans for one of your children, and then over time you end up having a second or a third child, and your first one or your firstborn doesn't want to go to college, you can transfer that to another child or your third one, or even you can donate it, right? So you do have many options that you can use the money for, and it is transferable for sure. So that's a good thing. The con to it is that the investment options are very limited. So again, you cannot, if you already invested in certain funds or mutual funds, and within this college saving plan, that you're going to have a certain amount of type of options where you invest your money in what type of funds or mutual funds within the plan, right? But if you find out that there is another mutual fund, or there is some kind of other investment fund with another firm or somewhere else outside of this plan, you're not going to be able to roll it over. You can't move the money around if you find something else that's going to bring you a better return on your investment. Because again, college saving plans, you guys, are long term, right? Again, these are long term financial instruments. Ideally, you start when your child is born, and then you have 18 years typically to save and grow this money. So when your child is ready to go to college, you're able to pay for their college education. So it's a long-term financial instrument, and so over time, as we see it all the time, new funds come onto the market, new ways of investing come onto the market, new mutual funds, all the different types of new financial instruments, right? And over time, you're not able, the investment options are very limited, and you cannot transfer the money, again, because if you do, it's considered as a withdrawal, and so now you're going to be subject to those taxes and those penalties that I mentioned above. So hope that helps you guys, it sheds a little bit of light on your 529 college saving plans. It is not necessarily, it's not like a good thing, absolutely a must. It's not always the case, or it's not a bad thing either. It just depends on your situation, and as long as you understand all the ins and outs of it, then this could help you decide whether this would be the right thing to do for you and for your children, or maybe not. So hope that helps you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate your comments, and I will see you next time. I will see you on Wednesday.